The History of Fragrance in Asia. Chapter 1: Olfactory Origins. A Fragrant Odyssey, unveiling the olfactory tapestry of ancient Asia. Embark on a sensory journey through the annals of time, where the air is infused with the intoxicating essence of ancient Asia. From the verdant landscapes of India to the serene courtyards of China and the fertile plains of Mesopotamia, fragrance in these ancient cultures was not just a fleeting aroma but a profound tapestry woven into the fabric of daily life, spirituality, and cultural identity. India, a symphony of spices and sacred scents. In the kaleidoscope of ancient Asia, India emerges as a vibrant palette of spices, florals, and sacred aromas that have permeated the air for millennia. The fragrant dance begins in the bustling markets of ancient cities, where the heady notes of cardamom, cinnamon, and cloves intertwine, creating a rich and aromatic symphony that transcends time. Spices, integral to Indian cuisine, have always been more than culinary delights. They are offerings to the senses, evoking the warmth of hearth and home. The aromatic embrace of garam masala wafting through the markets, the earthy allure of turmeric, and the citrusy burst of coriander seed create an olfactory tapestry that mirrors the culinary richness of ancient Indian cultures. Beyond the marketplaces, temples and palaces unfold as sanctuaries of scent. Ancient Indian perfumers, known as Gandhayakti, were revered artisans who crafted fragrances for both earthly and spiritual realms. Sandalwood, revered for its cooling and calming properties, became a staple in religious ceremonies, while jasmine, with its delicate floral notes, adorned deities and devotees alike. The concept of itra or traditional Indian perfumery flourished in royal courts, where intricate blends of musk, saffron, and agarwood were crafted into bespoke fragrances for the nobility. The Mughal emperors, in particular, were patrons of perfumery, leaving behind a fragrant legacy that echoes through the pages of history. China, a garden of tranquility and Taoist elegance. In ancient China, the olfactory journey unfolds amidst serene gardens, where the harmonious interplay of nature and human creativity is celebrated. Fragrance, here, is not merely an ephemeral pleasure but a conduit to balance and harmony, reflecting the principles of Taoism and Confucianism. Tea, a cornerstone of Chinese culture, introduces the first notes in this aromatic symphony. The delicate scent of jasmine-infused green tea wafts through traditional tea houses, creating an ambience of tranquility and contemplation. The meticulous art of tea preparation itself is a sensory ritual, where the aroma of leaves and water converges in a dance that transcends the mundane. Ancient Chinese perfumery found expression in the refinement of incense. The fragrance of aloeswood and agarwood, known as chunxiang, permeated the air in temples, palaces, and homes. Incense was not just a means of fragrance but a symbolic bridge between the earthly and spiritual realms. The art of incense appreciation, known as xiongdao, became a sophisticated practice, elevating the act of smelling to a meditative experience. In the imperial courts of ancient China, the pursuit of elegance extended to personal fragrances. The art of crafting while antique, or perfumed oils, became a treasured skill. Ingredients like camphor, musk, and various floral essences were combined to create fragrances that adorned the noble class, leaving a fragrant imprint on the historical scrolls of China. Mesopotamia, a bazaar of myrrh and spices. In the cradle of civilization, where the Tigris and Euphrates rivers crisscrossed the ancient land, Mesopotamia emerged as a bazaar of aromatic treasures. The scent of myrrh, a resin derived from commiphora trees, became synonymous with the temples and rituals of ancient Mesopotamia. Myrrh, with its earthy and slightly sweet aroma, was not just a fragrance but a sacred offering to the gods. The markets of Babylon and Assyria resonated with the heady fragrance of exotic spices, cinnamon, cardamom, and frankincense. Spices were not just culinary ingredients but prized commodities, exchanged along the ancient trade routes that connected Mesopotamia to distant lands. Perfumery in Mesopotamia was entwined with religious practices. Priests and priestesses adorned themselves with scented oils and incense during ceremonies dedicated to the pantheon of gods. The scent of cedar, renowned for its purifying properties, filled the air in sacred spaces, creating an olfactory atmosphere that transcended the earthly realm. Unraveling the olfactory threads, a shared tapestry. As we weave through the fragrant corridors of ancient Asia, a remarkable convergence becomes apparent. Across cultures and landscapes, fragrance served as a cultural expression, a spiritual conduit, and a testament to the sophistication of ancient civilizations. The aromatic threads of spices, incense, and floral notes wove a common tapestry, connecting India, China, and Mesopotamia in an olfactory dialogue that spanned epochs. Trade routes, cultural exchanges, and the dissemination of knowledge facilitated the sharing of aromatic treasures, enriching the collective olfactory heritage of ancient Asia. In this fragrant odyssey, the scents of ancient Asia linger, a timeless whisper that invites us to explore the intersection of history, culture, and sensory delight. The spices of India, the elegance of Chinese incense, and the sacred myrrh of Mesopotamia converge, creating an olfactory mosaic that transcends time, inviting us to partake in the timeless art of perfumery that has shaped the aromatic tapestry of the East. Aromatic alchemy, exploring the early uses of fragrance in rituals, medicine, and daily life. In the dim glow of ancient sanctuaries and the bustling markets of yore, the essence of aromatic materials danced through the air, weaving a fragrant tapestry that connected the sacred, the medicinal, and the mundane. From the sacred rituals of religious ceremonies to the healing embrace of traditional medicine and the everyday rituals of daily life, aromatic materials have been integral to human experience, shaping culture, spirituality, and well-being. Religious rituals, the incense of devotion. In the sacred spaces of temples, churches, and mosques, the use of aromatic materials transcends mere sensory indulgence, it becomes a bridge between the earthly and the divine. Incense, in particular, emerges as a universal symbol of devotion, ritual purity, and spiritual elevation. Ancient civilizations, from Mesopotamia to Egypt and China, embraced the fragrant embrace of incense in religious ceremonies. The rising tendrils of smoke carried prayers, intentions, and supplications towards the heavens, creating an ethereal connection between the mortal and the divine. Frankincense and myrrh, resins harvested from sacred trees, played a central role in these rites, their heady aromas invoking a sense of the sacred. In Hindu rituals, the scent of sandalwood carries profound significance. Sandalwood paste, known as chandan, is applied to deities and worshippers alike, symbolizing purity and devotion. The subtle, woody fragrance becomes an offering, an olfactory hymn that infuses the sacred space with a sense of tranquility. In Christianity, the use of incense became an integral part of liturgical practices. The sweet and resinous notes of frankincense filled cathedrals, symbolizing the prayers of the faithful rising to the divine. The censers swung by priests, trailing fragrant smoke, became a sensory conduit for the sacred. Across cultures, the aromatic materials used in religious rituals were not merely incidental, they were alchemical agents that transformed physical spaces into realms where the divine and the human converged, a fragrant communion that transcended time and tradition. Traditional medicine, aromas as elixirs of healing. In the ancient apothecaries and healing chambers, aromatic materials were not just ingredients, they were potent elixirs believed to hold the key to physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. Traditional medicine systems across the globe, from Ayurveda in India to traditional Chinese medicine, TCM, and the herbal law of ancient Greece, harnessed the therapeutic power of aromas. In Ayurveda, the ancient Indian system of medicine, the use of aromatic substances, or gandha dravya, is deeply ingrained. Fragrant herbs and spices like ginger, cardamom, and sandalwood were not only used for their aromatic qualities but also for their potential to balance the dosas, vata, pitta, and kapha. Aromatic oils derived from herbs played a crucial role in therapeutic massage, known as abhyanga, promoting both physical and mental well-being. Traditional Chinese medicine, with its roots in ancient philosophy, embraced the use of aromatic herbs to balance the flow of vital energy, or qi. The warming notes of cinnamon, the cooling essence of mint, and the grounding aroma of frankincense were employed to restore harmony within the body. The aromatic journey extended to the burning of moxa, a blend of mugwort and other herbs, to stimulate energy flow along meridians. In ancient Greece, the father of medicine, Hippocrates, recognized the therapeutic potential of aromas. He prescribed aromatic fumigations to purify the air and combat infectious diseases. The fragrant symphony of herbs like thyme, oregano, and myrtle not only served medicinal purposes but also contributed to the holistic concept of well-being. Daily life, aromatic rhythms of domesticity. Beyond the sacred and the medicinal, aromatic materials infused daily life with a sense of comfort, luxury, and ritual. The use of fragrance in personal grooming, culinary practices, and home rituals became an intimate expression of culture and individual identity. In ancient Egypt, the art of perfumery was elevated to unparalleled heights. Fragrance was not merely a cosmetic, it was a reflection of social status and an offering to the gods. Perfumed oils, balms, and unguents scented with myrrh, frankincense, and lotus blossoms adorned both the elite and common folk, becoming an integral part of personal grooming rituals. The culinary traditions of ancient cultures were intertwined with aromatic ingredients. Spices like cinnamon, cardamom, and saffron not only enhanced the flavor of dishes but also contributed to the olfactory symphony of ancient kitchens. The act of cooking became a sensory ritual, where the aromatic dance of spices transformed humble ingredients into culinary masterpieces. The use of aromatic materials extended to the art of garment care and storage. Cedarwood, with its moth-repelling properties, became a natural choice for crafting storage chests. Lavender, known for its calming aroma, adorned linen sachets, imparting a sense of tranquility to wardrobes. These practices were not merely functional, they were an acknowledgement of the sensory impact that fragrances could have on the daily rhythms of life. The alchemy of memory, fragrance as time travel. In the intricate web of aromas woven into the fabric of ancient rituals, medicinal practices, and daily life, fragrance emerges as a time-traveling alchemist. The scents that permeated temples, apothecaries, and households become portals, transporting us across epochs and civilizations. The lingering aroma of incense recalls the hushed reverence of sacred spaces, where prayers intertwined with the ethereal. The herbal symphony of traditional medicine evokes the wisdom of healers who saw the connection between nature and well-being. The fragrance of daily rituals becomes a vessel, carrying echoes of domesticity, culinary traditions, and the intimate art of personal care. As we trace the aromatic alchemy of ancient times, we encounter a profound realization: the scents that accompanied our ancestors were not mere ephemeral wisps, they were echoes, imprints, and whispers that transcended the boundaries of time. In this olfactory journey, we connect with the essence of humanity, the timeless dance between aromatic materials and the human spirit. A fragrant tapestry, exploring the aromas of Asian civilizations. In the intricate weave of Asian civilizations, fragrances have adorned the fabric of cultural, spiritual, and everyday life for centuries. From the sacred temples of Hindu rituals to the serene courtyards of Chinese ceremonies, the olfactory symphony of Asia resonates with the richness of sandalwood, agarwood, and an array of aromatic treasures. Let us embark on a fragrant journey, unraveling the scented threads that have played a crucial role in shaping the aromatic heritage of Asian civilizations. Sandalwood, the sacred essence of Hindu rituals. In the heart of Hindu rituals, the subtle and woody notes of sandalwood emerge as an olfactory cornerstone. Revered for its sacred properties and calming fragrance, sandalwood has been an integral part of religious ceremonies, devotional practices, and daily rituals. Temples and offerings. The scent of sandalwood is synonymous with the sacred ambience of Hindu temples. Devotees offer sandalwood paste, known as chandan, to deities as a symbol of purity and devotion. The ritualistic application of chandan on the forehead, often in the form of a tilak, is a customary practice that invokes blessings and spiritual grace. Incense, infused with sandalwood, is a common offering in temples. The rising smoke carries prayers and intentions to the divine, creating a fragrant bridge between the mortal and the sacred. Sandalwood incense is not just a sensory experience, it's a conduit for spiritual elevation and communion. Ayurvedic traditions. Beyond religious rituals, sandalwood holds a significant place in Ayurveda, the ancient Indian system of medicine. Sandalwood oil, derived from the heartwood of Santalum album, is valued for its cooling and calming properties. It is used in traditional Ayurvedic massages, known as abhyanga, promoting physical and mental well-being. In Ayurvedic skincare, sandalwood has been cherished for its skin-soothing qualities. Face masks, powders, and oils infused with sandalwood are crafted to enhance the complexion and impart a sense of tranquility. Chinese agarwood, the aromatic elegance of ceremonial bliss. In the fragrant landscapes of Chinese ceremonies, agarwood, or chunxiang, unfolds as a prized aromatic treasure. Known for its deep, resinous fragrance, agarwood has been an essential component in traditional Chinese ceremonies, medicinal practices, and artistic expressions. Ceremonial offerings. Agarwood holds a sacred status in Chinese religious practices. The aromatic wood is often used as an offering in temples and shrines, symbolizing purity, enlightenment, and the connection between heaven and earth. The use of agarwood incense, with its complex and alluring scent, elevates the atmosphere of ceremonies, inviting worshippers into a fragrant dialogue with the divine. In Taoist rituals, agarwood is associated with transcending the material world and attaining spiritual enlightenment. The ethereal aroma of agarwood incense becomes a conduit for practitioners seeking harmony, balance, and a connection to the unseen realms. Medicinal elixirs. Agarwood has a long history in traditional Chinese medicine, where it is known for its therapeutic properties. It is believed to have calming effects on the mind, promoting mental clarity and focus. Agarwood is often used in medicinal concoctions, ranging from teas to balms, harnessing its aromatic alchemy for both physical and spiritual well-being. Art and culture. Beyond its use in rituals and medicine, agarwood has permeated Chinese art and culture. The elegant scent of agarwood is celebrated in traditional poetry, paintings, and literature. It is a muse for artists, inspiring them to capture the essence of its fragrance in visual and written expressions. Agarwood also finds its place in traditional Chinese craftsmanship, particularly in the creation of carved ornaments and beads. The fragrant wood is shaped into intricate designs, serving as both a decorative element and a wearable token of its aromatic allure. Japanese kodo, the way of incense. In Japan, the appreciation of fragrance transcends the ordinary. It becomes a ritualistic art form known as kodo or the way of incense. Here, various aromatic materials, including agarwood, take center stage in a ceremonial practice that goes beyond mere sensory indulgence. Kodo ceremonies. Kodo ceremonies involve the appreciation of incense, where participants engage in the mindful experience of smelling different scents. Agarwood, with its deep and resinous notes, is a prized ingredient in kodo ceremonies. Participants seek not only to identify the scents but also to connect with the emotions and memories evoked by each fragrance. Agarwood incense, known as jinko, is meticulously prepared and presented during kodo ceremonies. The process of heating the incense and allowing its fragrance to unfold becomes a meditative practice, inviting participants to explore the subtle nuances of scent and embrace a heightened state of awareness. Cultural significance. In Japanese culture, agarwood holds cultural significance beyond the realm of ceremonies. It is often associated with refinement, luxury, and the appreciation of the finer things in life. Agarwood-infused products, from perfumes to scented wood crafts, embody a sense of sophistication and cultural heritage. Cambodian oud, echoes of temples and forests. In the aromatic landscape of Cambodia, agarwood, known as Chan Krasna, carries echoes of ancient temples and dense forests. The scent of Cambodian oud unfolds as a sensory journey that intertwines spirituality, nature, and cultural identity. Temple offerings. Agarwood plays a vital role in Cambodian religious rituals and offerings. Temples are adorned with agarwood incense, creating an atmosphere of sanctity and reverence. The fragrant smoke wafts through sacred spaces, inviting worshippers to immerse themselves in a scented dialogue with the divine. Natural ecosystems. Cambodia is home to some of the world's most prized agarwood trees. The resinous heartwood, formed in response to fungal infections, is revered for its complex and captivating aroma. Agarwood harvesting in Cambodia is not just a trade, it's a symbiotic relationship with the natural ecosystems, where the fragrant trees are revered and conserved. Cultural traditions. The use of agarwood extends to Cambodian cultural traditions, where it is incorporated into various aspects of daily life. From crafting traditional medicines and perfumes to creating artisanal woodwork, agarwood becomes a cultural emblem, a fragrant expression of Cambodia's natural bounty and artisanal prowess. Chapter 2: Silk Roads of Scent. Scented silk roads, aromatic trade routes linking East and West. In the annals of history, the exchange of fragrances between East and West unfolded along the ancient trade routes, creating a scented tapestry that wove together distant civilizations. The aromatic trade routes, often referred to as the scented silk roads, were conduits of commerce, culture, and perfumed treasures that transcended geographical boundaries, fostering a fragrant dialogue between the Orient and Occident. The spice routes, aromatic odyssey from the East Indies. The journey of aromatic treasures began in the East Indies, a region abundant with spices, resins, and precious woods. The spice routes, spanning across the Indian Ocean, Southeast Asia, and the Arabian Peninsula, became the lifelines of the aromatic trade. Spices such as cinnamon, cardamom, cloves, and pepper were not only coveted for their culinary uses but also for their aromatic properties. The bustling spice markets of places like Sumatra, Java, and the Moluccas, known as the Spice Islands, became epicenters of fragrance commerce. Traders from the West embarked on perilous voyages to secure these aromatic treasures, navigating the treacherous seas in search of the spices that would enchant palates and perfume the air. The Silk Road, fragrant caravans crossing deserts. The legendary Silk Road, a network of ancient trade routes connecting China to the Mediterranean, was not only a conduit for silk and other goods but also a fragrant thoroughfare where the scents of the East met the West. Caravans laden with aromatic treasures traversed deserts, mountains, and fertile plains, exchanging not only commodities but also the olfactory essence of distant lands. Chinese silks, ceramics, and teas made their way westward, while precious woods, resins, and herbs from the Middle East and Central Asia journeyed eastward. Among these fragrant commodities, aloeswood, agarwood, myrrh, and frankincense became symbolic of the scented dialogue between cultures. These resins, sought after for their use in religious ceremonies, perfumery, and medicine, bridged the East-West olfactory gap. Arab traders, guardians of perfumed secrets. Arab traders played a pivotal role in facilitating the aromatic exchange between the East and the West. Arabian merchants, sailing the seas and traversing deserts, brought not only the scents of their own region but also served as conduits for the fragrances of India, China, and Southeast Asia. Cities like Baghdad, Cairo, and Damascus became vibrant hubs where aromatic materials were traded, blended, and disseminated. Perfumers in these bustling metropolises crafted intricate blends, creating perfumes that encapsulated the essence of the Silk Road, a fragrant amalgamation of diverse cultures and aromatic treasures. The Mediterranean and European perfumery, infusions of the East. As the fragrant cargo traversed the Silk Road and spice routes, it eventually found its way to the Mediterranean and Europe. The introduction of exotic spices, resins, and aromatic woods transformed the olfactory landscape of the West, infusing European perfumery with the scents of the East. Italian and Spanish traders, seizing the opportunity to partake in the aromatic trade, established maritime routes that connected Europe to the Orient. The arrival of fragrant treasures sparked a perfume renaissance in Europe during the Renaissance, as the elite and nobility embraced the allure of exotic aromas. Venetian and Genoese merchants, aromatic conduits. Venice and Genoa emerged as maritime powers that played a crucial role in the flow of aromatic riches. Venetian merchants, in particular, sailed the Adriatic and Mediterranean, establishing trade connections with the East. The Venetian Republic became a hub for the importation and distribution of spices, herbs, and resins, contributing to the flourishing trade in perfumes and aromatic materials. Genoa, another maritime powerhouse, followed suit, establishing trade routes that connected the Mediterranean to the Levant and beyond. The aromatic treasures that filled the holds of Genoese ships enriched the European olfactory landscape, leading to a growing demand for perfumes and scented products. The Renaissance, a fragrant revival. The Renaissance witnessed a revival of interest in the arts, sciences, and, notably, perfumery. European courts became patrons of the aromatic arts, importing fragrant materials from the East to create perfumes that reflected both luxury and cultural sophistication. Perfumers in cities like Florence, Venice, and Grasse honed their craft, blending the exotic scents of the East with local ingredients. The Italian city-states, in particular, became centers of perfumery excellence, where skilled artisans crafted bespoke fragrances for royalty and the aristocracy. Trade hubs and perfume capitals, Grasse and Paris. Grasse, nestled in the hills of Provence, emerged as a perfume capital during the 17th century. The region's climate was ideal for cultivating flowers, and Grasse became a hub for the production of essential oils. Jasmine, rose, and lavender fields flourished, providing perfumers with local botanical treasures to enhance their creations. Paris, with its thriving courtly culture, became a focal point for the consumption and production of perfumes. The French court, under the influence of Louis XIV, developed a passion for scented products. Perfumers, often of Italian or French descent, crafted exquisite fragrances that adorned the royal court and elite salons. The birth of modern perfumery, Industrial Revolution and global expansion. The Industrial Revolution marked a turning point in the history of perfumery. Advances in technology allowed for the mass production of perfumes, making them more accessible to a broader audience. The global expansion of trade routes facilitated the sourcing of raw materials from distant lands, further enriching the perfumer's palette. The incorporation of synthetic ingredients in the late 19th century revolutionized perfumery, allowing for the creation of scents that mimicked or enhanced natural aromas. This era saw the birth of iconic fragrances, with houses like Guerlain, Chanel, and Houbigant establishing themselves as leaders in the industry. Contemporary fragrance, a global olfactory tapestry. In the 21st century, the legacy of the aromatic trade routes continues to shape the world of perfumery. Globalization, technological advancements, and a renewed appreciation for natural and sustainable ingredients have led to a diverse and dynamic fragrance landscape. Perfumers draw inspiration from a global palette, sourcing ingredients from various continents to create unique and culturally resonant scents. The exchange of ideas, techniques, and materials persists, creating a contemporary olfactory. A fragrant exchange, Arabian perfumers and the aromatic tapestry of Asia. In the rich mosaic of global perfumery, the Arabian Peninsula has stood as a cradle of fragrance, nurturing a tradition that transcends time and geography. The influence of Arabian perfumers on Asian aromatic traditions has been profound, creating a reciprocal dance where scents from the Middle East and Asia intermingle, leaving an indelible mark on the olfactory heritage of both regions. Arabian perfumery, a timeless tradition. Arabian perfumery traces its roots deep into the annals of history, where perfumes were not merely commodities but expressions of art, culture, and spirituality. The Arabian Peninsula, with its diverse landscapes ranging from the vast deserts to fertile oases, provided a rich tapestry of aromatic materials that became the building blocks of this perfumed legacy. Oud, the heartbeat of Arabian fragrance. At the heart of Arabian perfumery lies oud, the resinous heartwood derived from agarwood trees. Oud, also known as liquid gold, is a cornerstone of Middle Eastern perfumery, prized for its complex, woody, and intoxicating aroma. Its influence extends beyond borders, shaping the olfactory landscape of Asian traditions. Arabian perfumers mastered the art of extracting oud oil, creating perfumes and attars that captivated the senses. Oud became synonymous with luxury, spirituality, and cultural identity. The allure of this precious substance spread across Asia, becoming a sought-after ingredient in traditional perfumery practices. Arabian influence on Asian perfumery. The influence of Arabian perfumery on Asian traditions is most palpable in the crafting of attars, traditional perfumes often derived from natural botanical sources. The art of distillation, perfected by Arabian perfumers, found resonance in the attar-making traditions of India and Southeast Asia. Indian attars, such as the famed Kanauj rose attar, showcase the influence of Arabian techniques. Perfumers in regions like Kanauj embraced the distillation process to extract the purest essence from flowers, creating attars that mirrored the finesse of Arabian perfumery. The nuanced blending of floral and woody notes, reminiscent of Arabian fragrances, became a hallmark of Indian attars. In Southeast Asia, particularly in regions like Indonesia and Malaysia, Arabian perfumery left an indelible mark on the crafting of traditional scents. The intricate layering of notes, the emphasis on natural ingredients, and the incorporation of oud into perfumery practices all bear the signature of Arabian influence. Reciprocal impact: Asian spices and scents in the Middle East. As Arabian perfumery disseminated its aromatic treasures across Asia, the reciprocal impact of Asian spices and scents on the Middle East became a fragrant dialogue. The spice routes, connecting Asia to the Arabian Peninsula, brought a kaleidoscope of aromas that enriched Arabian perfumery and daily life. Sandalwood, a fragrant bond between Arabia and Asia. Sandalwood, revered in Asian cultures for its soothing and sacred properties, found a cherished place in Arabian perfumery. The warm and woody notes of sandalwood became a harmonizing element in Arabian fragrances, creating a bridge between the aromatic traditions of the Middle East and Asia. Indian sandalwood, known for its superior quality, became a prized ingredient in Arabian perfumery. The fragrant embrace of sandalwood, woven into the fabric of Arabian attars and perfumes, reflected a harmonious fusion of scents that transcended regional boundaries. Spices. Aromatic alchemy in Arabian perfumery. The aromatic treasures of Asia, particularly spices like cardamom, cinnamon, and cloves, became integral to Arabian perfumery. These spices, sourced from the vibrant markets of the East Indies and the Spice Islands, infused Arabian fragrances with exotic and complex notes. Arabian perfumers skillfully blended these spices into their concoctions, creating perfumes that carried the essence of distant lands. The warm and spicy nuances of cardamom, the sweet richness of cinnamon, and the heady aroma of cloves became key players in the olfactory symphony of Arabian perfumery. Asian florals, blooms in the Arabian desert. The floral bounty of Asia, from the delicate jasmine of India to the exotic blossoms of Southeast Asia, found a second home in Arabian perfumery. Arabian perfumers embraced these floral notes, incorporating them into their compositions to create fragrances that captured the essence of Asian gardens. Jasmine, with its intoxicating and sweet aroma, became a beloved floral note in Arabian perfumery. Attars and perfumes adorned with jasmine brought a touch of Asian elegance to the aromatic repertoire of the Middle East. Similarly, the floral richness of roses, lotus, and frangipani found expression in Arabian fragrances, creating a cross-cultural olfactory bouquet. Agarwood, an olfactory bridge between Asia and Arabia. While oud originated in the Arabian Peninsula, its journey across Asia and back to the Middle East created a reciprocal exchange that reshaped both regions' perfumery practices. Agarwood, or oud, became a symbolic link, a fragrant bridge that connected Asian and Arabian olfactory traditions. In the Middle East, oud became synonymous with luxury and spirituality. Arabian perfumers elevated the use of oud in their compositions, creating signature fragrances that resonated with the complex and mystical aroma of agarwood. Oud, with its deep and resinous character, became a defining element in Arabian perfumery. Conclusion: a harmonious olfactory symphony. The influence of Arabian perfumers on Asian aromatic traditions and the reciprocal impact of Asian spices and scents on the Middle East have created a harmonious olfactory symphony that transcends borders. This fragrant exchange, woven into the fabric of cultural, spiritual, and daily life, showcases the enduring power of scent to connect diverse regions and celebrate the richness of global perfumery. It is a testament to the universal language of fragrance, a language that speaks of shared traditions, cross-cultural inspirations, and the timeless allure of aromatic treasures. A fragrant tapestry, cross-cultural pollination in the olfactory landscape of Asia. In the diverse and vibrant tapestry of Asia, the olfactory landscape is a rich amalgamation of scents that have crisscrossed cultures, borders, and centuries. The aromatic traditions of Asia are a testament to the profound impact of cross-cultural pollination, where fragrances have transcended geographical confines, creating a harmonious symphony that resonates from the majestic Himalayas to the tropical islands of Southeast Asia. India, the perfumed heart of Asia. At the heart of Asia's olfactory tale lies India, a land where fragrances are woven into the fabric of daily life, spirituality, and cultural expression. India's aromatic heritage is a result of centuries of cross-cultural interactions, trade routes, and the assimilation of diverse influences. Spices and trade routes, the aroma of exchange. The aromatic journey of India began with the ancient spice routes that connected the subcontinent to the Middle East and beyond. Spices like cardamom, cinnamon, and black pepper became not only culinary treasures but also integral components of perfumery practices. Indian spices found their way into the perfumed creations of the Middle East, influencing Arabian and Persian perfumery. In return, the exotic scents of the Middle East, including oud and floral attar, became woven into the fragrant repertoire of India. The bustling spice markets of cities like Kochi and Mumbai became aromatic melting pots, where the essence of diverse cultures mingled and flourished. Ayurveda, a holistic symphony of scents. The ancient Indian system of medicine, Ayurveda, is a treasure trove of aromatic wisdom that reflects the cross-cultural exchange prevalent in the region. Ayurvedic practices incorporate a myriad of aromatic materials, from herbs and spices to precious woods and floral essences. The use of sandalwood, an ingredient synonymous with Indian spirituality, became a bridge between Ayurveda and the broader Asian olfactory landscape. Sandalwood's soothing and grounding properties influenced not only Indian perfumery but also that of neighboring regions, fostering a shared appreciation for this aromatic treasure. Floral elegance, from the Mughals to Southeast Asia. The Mughal Empire, with its roots in Central Asia, left an indelible mark on the aromatic traditions of India. The Mughal emperors, known for their refined taste and appreciation for the arts, brought with them a love for exquisite fragrances. The Mughal gardens, adorned with aromatic blooms, became a source of inspiration for perfumers and gardeners alike. Roses, jasmine, and tuberose, among other flowers, were cultivated for their fragrant petals. The Mughal influence extended beyond India, shaping the perfumery practices of Southeast Asia, where floral scents became an integral part of cultural and religious rituals. China, a fragrant tapestry of traditional medicine. China, with its ancient traditions and holistic approach to well-being, boasts an olfactory tapestry shaped by the cross-cultural pollination of ideas and scents. Traditional Chinese medicine, TCM, places a significant emphasis on the use of aromatic materials to balance the body's energy. Herbs and resins, balancing qi with fragrance. Chinese herbs and resins, such as frankincense and myrrh, are not only revered for their therapeutic properties but also for their aromatic contributions. Incense, infused with a blend of medicinal herbs, became a tool for balancing qi, the vital life force in TCM. The Silk Road, connecting China to the Mediterranean, facilitated the exchange of not only goods but also aromatic knowledge. Chinese incense, enriched with herbal and resinous notes, found its way westward, influencing the fragrant practices of the Middle East and beyond. Japan, Kodo and the way of incense. In Japan, the appreciation of fragrance evolved into an art form known as Kodo, or the way of incense. Rooted in Zen Buddhism, Kodo emphasizes the mindful appreciation of incense, creating a meditative and olfactory experience. Agarwood and the incense ceremony, a cultural bridge. Agarwood, or oud, plays a central role in Japanese incense ceremonies. The deep, resinous aroma of agarwood is revered for its meditative and spiritual qualities. The influence of agarwood, originating in the Middle East, traveled along the Silk Road and across Asia, leaving an aromatic legacy that harmonized with the traditional scents of Japan. The Japanese appreciation for the art of blending, as seen in Kodo, reflects the cross-cultural exchange that has shaped the nation's olfactory landscape. The meticulous blending of various aromatic materials, both local and imported, creates a fragrant symphony that transcends cultural boundaries. Southeast Asia, spice islands and fragrant gardens. The archipelago of Southeast Asia, known as the Spice Islands, became a crossroads of cultures and scents. The region's tropical climate and fertile soil gave rise to a bounty of aromatic materials, from spices to exotic flowers. Bali and the island of fragrances, a melting pot of scents. Bali, with its lush landscapes and vibrant culture, became a melting pot of fragrances. The island's traditional perfumery practices draw inspiration from local flowers, herbs, and spices. Balinese perfumers skillfully blend indigenous scents with influences from India, China, and beyond, creating perfumes that embody the diverse essence of Southeast Asia. Perfumed offerings, temples and beyond. In Southeast Asian cultures, the use of fragrance extends beyond personal adornment to the spiritual realm. Temples are adorned with aromatic offerings, creating an environment where the scent becomes an integral part of religious rituals and devotional practices. Influences from India, China, and the Middle East converge in the aromatic rituals of Southeast Asian temples. Sandalwood, incense, and floral attars become offerings that bridge the spiritual and sensory dimensions, creating a fragrant symphony that transcends cultural borders. Conclusion: a unified fragrant symphony. The olfactory landscape of Asia is a testament to the interconnectedness of cultures, the exchange of ideas, and the enduring legacy of cross-cultural pollination. From the aromatic markets of India to the incense ceremonies of Japan, each region contributes to a unified fragrant symphony that celebrates diversity while weaving a harmonious tapestry of scents. In this olfactory journey, Asia emerges not as a collection of distinct fragrances but as a holistic and interconnected aromatic experience that continues to evolve, leaving a trail of scents that transcend time and borders. Chapter 3: Imperial Aromas. A fragrant dynasty, the majestic courts of ancient Asian empires. In the annals of ancient Asian empires, the courts stood as opulent stages where power, prestige, and cultural refinement converged. Amidst the grandeur of imperial palaces and the echoing corridors of dynastic rule, fragrances played a pivotal role in shaping the sensory landscape of these majestic courts. From the intricate rituals of royal ceremonies to the expression of imperial authority through signature scents, the olfactory allure of the courts became a testament to the grandiosity and sophistication of ancient Asian civilizations. China, the perfumed halls of the Forbidden City. In the heart of imperial China, the Forbidden City in Beijing stood as the epicenter of imperial power. The Ming and Qing dynasties, with their intricate rituals and refined aesthetics, placed a profound emphasis on the use of fragrances within the imperial courts. Imperial rituals, incense and symbolism. Imperial rituals in China were infused with fragrant offerings, particularly incense, which held symbolic significance beyond its olfactory charm. Incense became a conduit for communicating with the divine, elevating the imperial ceremonies to spiritual heights. The Ming Emperor, Zhu Yuanzhong, is said to have used a unique fragrance called Kainangxiang during his reign, a scent that combined aloeswood, sandalwood, and other precious ingredients. This imperial fragrance was believed to embody the emperor's connection to the celestial realm, symbolizing the harmonious rule of the empire. Signature scents, imperial authority. Emperors in ancient China often embraced the creation of signature scents, a practice that extended beyond personal preference to become a proclamation of imperial authority. The crafting of these signature fragrances involved skilled perfumers who blended rare and precious ingredients to capture the essence of the emperor's persona. In the Qing dynasty, Emperor Qianlong was known for his appreciation of fragrance and personally engaged in the creation of scents. His imperial court established the Imperial Perfume Bureau, a dedicated institution responsible for crafting bespoke fragrances for the emperor. These scents were not only a means of personal adornment but also a potent symbol of imperial identity. Japan, the aromatic elegance of the Heian court. In ancient Japan, the Heian period, 794 to 1185, marked a zenith of cultural refinement, and the court at Kyoto became a center of artistic and olfactory sophistication. The Japanese courtiers, particularly during the Heian period, cultivated an exquisite sense of aesthetics that extended to their choice of fragrances. Incense appreciation, the birth of Kodo. The courtiers of the Heian period embraced the art of Kodo, the way of incense, which emphasized the mindful appreciation of scents. Kodo ceremonies were not merely olfactory experiences but were deeply rooted in Zen Buddhism, creating a meditative and spiritual connection through fragrance. Courtiers used intricately designed incense burners, known as koro, to enjoy the subtle nuances of scents. The appreciation of particular woods, resins, and herbs became a refined practice, with each courtier developing a personal affinity for specific fragrances. Cherry blossoms and aromatic gardens. Beyond incense, the courtiers of the Heian period were attuned to the natural aromas of their surroundings. The courtly gardens, adorned with cherry blossoms, plum blossoms, and other fragrant flowers, became settings for poetic contemplation and aesthetic appreciation. The courtly tradition of incorporating fragrant flora into personal adornments extended to the wearing of scented sachets, known as carabana. These sachets, often filled with petals and herbs, became an elegant expression of refined taste and olfactory sensibility. India. Aromatic splendor in the courts of the Maharajas. The courts of ancient India, particularly during the Mughal era, exuded an air of aromatic splendor that reflected the cultural fusion of indigenous traditions with influences from Central Asia and the Middle East. Mughal influence, perfumed gardens and attars. Under the patronage of Mughal emperors like Akbar, Jahangir, and Shah Jahan, the courts of India flourished as centers of artistic expression and aromatic indulgence. The Mughals, known for their appreciation of beauty and refinement, left an indelible mark on Indian perfumery. The Mughal gardens, such as the Shalimar Bagh, were designed not only for their visual appeal but also for their aromatic allure. Fragrant flowers like roses and jasmine were cultivated to create a symphony of scents that enveloped the imperial courts. Attars, traditional Indian perfumes derived from natural botanical sources, became an integral part of courtly adornment. Perfumers crafted intricate blends, often using floral and woody notes, to create attars that mirrored the sophistication of Mughal court life. Sandalwood and mogra, courtly fragrances. Sandalwood, with its creamy and woody aroma, held a special place in the courts of the Maharajas. Sandalwood paste, known as chandan, was applied by royalty as a mark of distinction, and sandalwood oil was used in perfumery to create luxurious scents. Mogra, or Arabian jasmine, also became a cherished fragrance in the courts of India. The sweet and floral notes of mogra were woven into perfumes, attars, and even garlands that adorned the royal courts, creating an ambience of fragrant opulence. Khmer Empire, aromatic grandeur in Southeast Asia. The Khmer Empire, centered in present-day Cambodia, boasted a grandeur that extended to its architectural marvels and courtly traditions. In the courts of Angkor, fragrance played a role in both religious rituals and royal ceremonies. Angkor Wat, a sacred scented sanctuary. Angkor Wat, the monumental temple complex of the Khmer Empire, was not only a testament to architectural prowess but also a sanctuary of scents. Incense, infused with aromatic resins and herbs, wafted through the sacred spaces, creating an atmosphere of reverence and spirituality. The scent of agarwood, a precious and resinous wood, was often used in religious rituals. Agarwood incense, known as chan krasna, became a fragrant offering too. Scented elegance, the art of incense in Chinese and Japanese imperial courts. In the hallowed halls of Chinese and Japanese imperial courts, where power, grace, and tradition converged, the art of incense emerged as a sophisticated and revered practice. Beyond mere fragrance, incense became a ritualistic and symbolic expression, intertwining with imperial ceremonies and the creation of signature scents for emperors and empresses. This aromatic journey unveils the delicate dance of scents that graced the palaces of emperors and empresses, creating an olfactory tapestry that transcended time and resonated with cultural significance. China, imperial elegance through incense. In the illustrious history of imperial China, the use of incense became a refined and ritualistic practice, deeply ingrained in imperial ceremonies and courtly life. The Ming and Qing dynasties witnessed a flourishing of incense appreciation, elevating it beyond a mere sensory indulgence to a symbolic and spiritual art form. Imperial ceremonies, the perfumed symphony. Imperial ceremonies in China were steeped in tradition and symbolism, and incense played a central role in these elaborate rituals. The wafting tendrils of fragrant smoke were believed to bridge the earthly realm with the divine, creating an ethereal connection that permeated the imperial courts. During important ceremonies, such as birthdays, weddings, or official state functions, specific incense blends were meticulously chosen to complement the auspicious nature of the occasion. The fragrance of the incense became an invisible participant, infusing the air with a perfumed symphony that resonated with the significance of the moment. The Ming Emperor's signature scent, Kainangxiang. The Ming dynasty's Emperor Zhu Yuanzhong was known for his appreciation of fragrance and is credited with the creation of a signature scent known as Kainangxiang. This unique fragrance was a carefully crafted blend, featuring precious ingredients like aloeswood, sandalwood, and other exotic elements. Kainangxiang was not merely a personal indulgence for the emperor, it held profound symbolism. The aroma was believed to embody the emperor's connection to the celestial realm, a fragrant testament to the harmonious rule of the empire. The creation of such signature scents for emperors became a tradition that spoke of both individual identity and imperial grandeur. Imperial Perfume Bureau, craftsmanship fit for royalty. To meet the discerning olfactory preferences of emperors and empresses, the imperial courts established the Imperial Perfume Bureau during the Qing dynasty. This dedicated institution was responsible for crafting bespoke fragrances that adorned the imperial chambers and reflected the refined tastes of the ruling elite. Skilled perfumers at the Imperial Perfume Bureau utilized a vast array of aromatic materials, ranging from rare woods and resins to delicate floral essences. Each composition was a meticulously balanced creation, embodying the essence of imperial elegance. The fragrances were not only meant for personal adornment but also to infuse the imperial surroundings with an aura of scented sophistication. Japan, Kodo, the way of incense. In Japan, the appreciation of incense evolved into an art form known as Kodo, translating to the way of incense. This practice, rooted in Zen Buddhism, emphasized the meditative and spiritual aspects of incense appreciation. The Japanese imperial courts, particularly during the Heian period, embraced Kodo as an integral part of courtly life. Incense appreciation in Heian Japan. The courtiers of Heian Japan, known for their exquisite taste and cultural refinement, were avid patrons of incense appreciation. The delicate and nuanced practice of Kodo involved not only the burning of incense but also the mindful appreciation of its subtleties. Incense ceremonies in the imperial courts became a sensory experience, where the courtiers engaged in the ritualistic appreciation of scents. Incense burners, crafted with precision and elegance, were used to release the fragrant offerings, creating an ethereal ambience that elevated the courtly experience. Signature scents for the imperial court, the Kodo tradition. In addition to the communal appreciation of incense, The Japanese imperial courts also witnessed the creation of signature scents for emperors and empresses. These bespoke fragrances, often crafted by skilled perfumers or courtiers, were expressions of individual taste and imperial identity. The blending of specific woods, resins, and floral notes created scents that resonated with the personal preferences of the imperial couple. The fragrances were not only worn as personal adornments but also infused into the imperial surroundings, leaving a fragrant imprint on the courtly atmosphere. Agarwood and the imperial court, a cultural bridge. Agarwood, also known as oud, played a significant role in Japanese imperial perfumery. This precious and resinous wood, with its complex and captivating aroma, became a cultural bridge that connected Japan to the broader Asian olfactory traditions. Agarwood was highly prized for its spiritual and meditative qualities, making it a fitting choice for imperial ceremonies. The scent of agarwood permeated the imperial chambers, creating an atmosphere of tranquility and refinement. Cultural significance of scents, tea and incense gatherings. The confluence of incense and tea ceremonies became a cultural phenomenon in Japan, epitomizing the synthesis of sensory experiences. The art of sade, or the way of tea, embraced the harmonious pairing of incense and tea, creating gatherings where aroma, taste, and aesthetics converged. Tea and incense gatherings in the imperial courts became occasions for courtiers to engage in refined conversations and appreciate the interplay of scents. The fragrances chosen for these gatherings were selected with care, enhancing the overall sensory experience and contributing to the cultural richness of the imperial courts. In both Chinese and Japanese imperial courts, the art of incense transcended the realm of mere fragrance to become a cultural expression, a spiritual practice, and a symbol of imperial grandeur. Signature scents for emperors and empresses, whether in the Ming dynasty or the Heian period, were not just personal preferences but statements of identity and refinement. The fragrant legacy of these courts endures, leaving behind a scented tapestry that speaks of elegance, cultural exchange, and the profound connection between the senses and imperial life. Today, the art of incense and the creation of signature scents continue to be cherished traditions, echoing the sophisticated olfactory practices that once graced the majestic courts of ancient Asia. Harmony in fragrance, navigating tradition and innovation in imperial palaces. Within the perfumed halls of imperial palaces, a delicate dance unfolds, a dance between tradition and innovation. The grandeur of imperial courts is not only defined by opulent architecture and regal ceremonies but also by the scents that waft through the air, carrying with them the echoes of history. In these hallowed spaces, the balance between honoring time-honored traditions and embracing innovative fragrances becomes a nuanced art, shaping the olfactory legacy of imperial realms. Tradition as pillars of identity. In the imperial palaces, tradition serves as the bedrock upon which the cultural identity of dynasties and empires is built. The use of specific fragrances, meticulously crafted through centuries-old techniques, becomes a symbol of continuity and a nod to the heritage that precedes the current rulers. The art of attas, ancient perfumery techniques. In many imperial courts, the art of crafting attas, traditional perfumes derived from natural botanical sources, is a practice deeply rooted in historical methods. Perfumers, often following age-old recipes, blend rare flowers, precious woods, and exotic resins to create scents that pay homage to the craftsmanship of their forebears. For instance, in the Mughal courts of India, atta-making techniques were passed down through generations. The delicate extraction of floral essences, such as rose and jasmine, using traditional methods like steam distillation, preserves the authenticity of these scents. The result is not just a fragrance but a living artifact, a testament to the enduring connection between tradition and imperial identity. Cultural significance in scented ceremonies. Imperial ceremonies, steeped in tradition, provide a canvas for the expression of cultural significance through scent. The choice of specific fragrances for occasions like weddings, religious rituals, or state functions becomes a deliberate act, preserving the rituals that have defined the imperial courts for centuries. In China, where the Ming and Qing dynasties held sway, incense played a crucial role in ceremonial practices. The specific blends chosen for each ritual carried symbolic weight, connecting the earthly and divine realms. The continuity of these scented ceremonies not only pays homage to ancestral practices but also reinforces the cultural and spiritual significance embedded in the imperial tapestry. Innovation as the breath of renewal. While tradition grounds imperial palaces in a sense of continuity, innovation becomes the breath of renewal, a force that breathes vitality into the olfactory narratives of dynasties. Embracing new aromatic materials, techniques, and cultural influences allows imperial courts to adapt and evolve, ensuring that the fragrance of power remains relevant through changing times. New ingredients, new narratives. Innovative perfumery often involves the incorporation of novel ingredients that were either not available or not widely known in the historical context. The exploration of these ingredients, whether rare florals, exotic spices, or cutting-edge synthetics, introduces a fresh chapter in the olfactory book of imperial courts. For example, the incorporation of rare and coveted ingredients like orris root, once reserved for European royalty, might find its way into the perfumed repertoire of Asian imperial courts, creating a cross-cultural olfactory synthesis that reflects a more interconnected world. Modern distillation techniques. Advancements in distillation techniques also contribute to the innovation in imperial perfumery. While traditional methods like steam distillation and enfleurage hold their place, modern methods such as molecular distillation and CO2 extraction provide perfumers with a broader palette of aromatics to weave into their compositions. These advanced techniques not only enhance the efficiency of extracting fragrant molecules but also allow for the capture of delicate notes that might be lost in traditional processes. The result is a marriage of age-old wisdom and contemporary precision, creating scents that bridge the temporal gap between tradition and innovation. Cultural exchange in scent trends. Imperial palaces, often serving as cultural epicenters, become hubs for the exchange of ideas and influences. Just as trade routes facilitated the movement of aromatic treasures between civilizations in ancient times, contemporary imperial courts act as crucibles for the fusion of diverse scent trends. For instance, the exchange of fragrant practices between the courts of the Middle East and Asia during historical trade routes has left an indelible mark on both regions. Today, this cross-cultural pollination continues, with imperial courts embracing scents that carry echoes of distant lands, fostering a global olfactory conversation within the perfumed halls. Scented artistry of modern perfumers. The role of modern perfumers within imperial courts cannot be understated. These olfactory artisans navigate the delicate balance between tradition and innovation, drawing inspiration from historical archives while introducing contemporary interpretations that resonate with evolving sensibilities. In the Japanese imperial courts, the practice of kodo, the way of incense, embraces both tradition and innovation. While the essence of kodo lies in the mindful appreciation of incense, modern perfumers might introduce innovative blends that reflect a fusion of traditional Japanese scents with global influences. This interplay creates a dynamic olfactory experience that speaks to the multifaceted nature of imperial identity. Scented artistry of modern perfumers. Imperial palaces often house extensive archives documenting the scents associated with historical events, ceremonies, and royal preferences. These archives serve as a repository of olfactory heritage, allowing perfumers to draw inspiration from the past while crafting fragrances that resonate with contemporary audiences. Incorporating scents from these archives into modern compositions becomes a form of heritage preservation. Perfumers carefully curate and reinterpret historical fragrances, infusing them with a modern twist that captures the essence of imperial traditions while offering a fresh perspective. The perfumed halls of imperial palaces, where tradition and innovation waltz in harmony, tell a story of continuity and renewal. The delicate balance between honoring the fragrant legacies of the past and embracing the evolving nature of scent ensures that the imperial courts remain not stagnant relics but living, breathing entities that resonate with the pulse of time. In this fragrant tapestry, Tradition and innovation are not opposing forces but complementary threads that weave a narrative of cultural richness and olfactory sophistication. As imperial courts navigate the complexities of scent, they continue to evolve, ensuring that the fragrance of power remains not just a relic of the past but a living, breathing testament to the enduring spirit of dynasties and empires. Chapter 4: Scented Zen. The Fragrant Path, a symbiotic dance of spirituality and philosophy in Buddhism and Taoism. Within the hallowed realms of Buddhism and Taoism, fragrance emerges as a profound expression of spirituality and philosophy. In these ancient traditions, the subtle dance of scent becomes a conduit for transcendence, a symbolic language that communicates the ineffable. From the meditative rituals of incense in Buddhism to the poetic subtleties of fragrance in Taoism, the intertwining of scent with spiritual and philosophical tenets creates a fragrant tapestry that transcends the material and leads practitioners on a journey toward the sublime. Buddhism, the incense of enlightenment. In the serene temples and monastic retreats of Buddhism, incense rises like silent prayers, carrying with it the essence of devotion and enlightenment. The use of incense in Buddhist rituals is deeply rooted in the teachings of Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, and it serves as a tangible representation of the path toward awakening. The three jewels in aromatic harmony. In Buddhist practice, the triple gem or three jewels, Buddha, the awakened one, Dharma, the teachings, and Sangha, the community, are revered, and incense plays a role in honoring each facet. The liturgical use of incense symbolizes the purity of intention, the dissemination of wisdom, and the unity of the spiritual community. The aromatic journey begins with the lighting of incense, a ritual act in itself. As the fragrant tendrils ascend, practitioners are reminded of the ephemeral nature of existence, the transient dance of smoke mirroring the impermanence of life. The act of offering incense becomes a mindfulness practice, a way to center one's thoughts on the present moment, fostering a deep connection to the spiritual path. Sandalwood and aloeswood, fragrances of transcendence. In the selection of aromatic materials, sandalwood and aloeswood hold a special place in Buddhist incense. Sandalwood, with its earthy and woody aroma, symbolizes the purity of heart. The scent is considered cooling and calming, encouraging a meditative atmosphere conducive to contemplation. Aloeswood, also known as agarwood or oud, is prized for its rich and resinous fragrance. The rare and precious nature of aloeswood aligns with the Buddhist principle of impermanence, emphasizing the value of the present moment. The journey of aloeswood from its resinous core to fragrant incense mirrors the transformative process of enlightenment. The path of mindful aromatics, Kodo. In Japan, the practice of Kodo, the way of incense, takes the appreciation of fragrance to a heightened level. Rooted in the Zen Buddhist tradition, Kodo transcends the mere burning of incense, it becomes a mindful and spiritual art form. Kodo ceremonies involve the contemplative appreciation of incense, where participants focus on the nuances of scent, texture, and ambience. The act of inhaling the fragrant offerings is not a passive experience but a journey into the present moment, a practice aligned with Zen teachings. Incense utensils as sacred artifacts. The tools used in Kodo ceremonies are considered sacred artifacts. The incense burner, or koro, is crafted with precision, often adorned with intricate designs. The censer, or kodu, becomes a vessel of transformation, where raw incense materials evolve into fragrant offerings. The curation of incense blends in Kodo is an art form that requires skill and intuition. Participants learn to discern subtle differences in scents, appreciating the interplay of various aromatic notes. The act of offering incense in Kodo is not just a sensory experience, it is a meditation, a communion with the essence of the present moment. Taoism, the fragrance of harmony and balance. In the philosophical tapestry of Taoism, fragrance embodies the principles of harmony, balance, and the interconnectedness of all things. Taoist philosophy, as articulated in the Tao Te Ching by Laozi, emphasizes the importance of aligning with the natural order and embracing the flow of existence. The subtle elegance of fragrance in Taoist thought. Taoist sages, poets, and philosophers often turn to the subtleties of fragrance as a metaphor for the ineffable Tao, the fundamental principle that underlies and unites the universe. The scent of flowers, the aroma of herbs, and the fragrance of the earth become poetic symbols that speak to the seamless dance of opposites and the cyclical nature of life. Taoist literature is replete with references to the delicate beauty of fragrance. The Tao Te Ching itself evokes the concept of the Tao as something both intangible and pervasive, akin to the fragrance that permeates the air without any visible source. The fragrance, in this context, becomes a reminder of the formless essence that weaves through all aspects of existence. Nature's fragrance, a mirror of the Tao. In Taoist philosophy, the natural world is seen as a reflection of the Tao, and fragrant elements of nature serve as mirrors reflecting the interconnectedness of all things. The fragrance of blooming flowers, the scent of dew-kissed leaves, and the aroma of the forest after rain are poetic expressions of the Tao's harmonious influence. Taoist poets, like those of the poetic tradition in ancient China, often employed fragrant metaphors to convey the transcendent beauty of the Tao. Each whiff of fragrance becomes a brushstroke in the canvas of existence, painting a picture of the interconnected dance between the visible and the unseen. Wu Wei, effortless action and fragrant simplicity. The Taoist principle of Wu Wei, often translated as effortless action or non-action, finds resonance in the subtle elegance of fragrance. Wu Wei encourages aligning with the natural flow of life, much like the unforced dissemination of scent by a flower. The fragrance, in its effortless diffusion, embodies the Taoist ideal of simplicity and spontaneity. The concept of Wu Wei is reflected in the minimalist aesthetics of Taoist incense rituals. Rather than elaborate ceremonies, Taoist incense practices often emphasize simplicity and spontaneity. The act of offering. The fragrant gateway, incense in meditation practices and temple rituals. In the quiet sanctuaries of meditation spaces and the solemn halls of temples, incense ascends like a fragrant prayer, weaving a bridge between the earthly and the divine. The use of incense in meditation practices and temple rituals is a timeless tradition that transcends cultures and religions. From the serene contemplation of Buddhist monks to the rhythmic ceremonies of Hindu temples, aromatic elements have become a gateway to higher consciousness, enriching the spiritual journey with the subtle dance of scents. Buddhist meditation, a symphony of incense and silence. In the hushed stillness of Buddhist meditation halls, incense unfolds as an essential companion on the path to enlightenment. The connection between incense and meditation is deeply ingrained in Buddhist traditions, serving as a sensory aid to cultivate mindfulness and elevate the spiritual experience. Incense as an anchor for mindfulness. In mindfulness meditation, where practitioners focus on breath and present awareness, incense acts as a focal point. The act of lighting incense becomes a deliberate ritual, each breath synchronized with the ascent of fragrant tendrils. The aroma becomes an anchor, grounding the mind in the present moment and heightening the sensory experience of meditation. The choice of specific incense materials holds symbolic significance. Sandalwood, with its grounding and calming properties, is often favored in Buddhist meditation. As practitioners inhale the subtle fragrance, it becomes a reminder of impermanence, a metaphor for the transient nature of thoughts and sensations that arise during meditation. Offering incense as a spiritual gesture. In temple rituals and monastic ceremonies, the offering of incense takes on a sacred dimension. The rhythmic act of waving the censer or placing incense sticks in designated holders becomes a gesture of reverence. The rising smoke symbolizes the ascent of prayers and aspirations, creating a visual representation of the spiritual journey. The three bows, a common practice in Buddhist temples, involves the offering of incense as part of a series of prostrations. The act of bowing, accompanied by the wafting fragrance of incense, is a tangible expression of humility and devotion. The scent becomes an integral part of the ritual, elevating the spiritual atmosphere within the temple precincts. Taoist incense rituals, aligning with the cosmic breath. In Taoist traditions, incense rituals are intricately woven into the fabric of cosmic harmony. The Taoist worldview, with its emphasis on aligning with the natural order, finds expression in the artful use of incense. The act of burning incense is seen as a symbolic representation of the interplay between yin and yang, the dual forces that shape the universe. Incense as a medium of communication with deities. Taoist temples, adorned with elaborate incense burners and altars, are vibrant spaces where the fragrance becomes a medium of communication with deities. The offering of incense is a gesture of seeking harmony with the Tao, the fundamental principle that underlies all existence. Devotees believe that the rising smoke carries their prayers and intentions to the divine realms. In Taoist alchemical practices, incense holds a mystical significance. The aromatic materials, carefully chosen for their symbolic properties, are believed to invoke celestial energies. The act of burning incense becomes a transformative ritual, an alchemical process where the physical and spiritual realms converge. Hindu puja, a dance of aromas in devotion. In the vibrant tapestry of Hindu rituals, the use of incense is an integral part of puja, the ceremonial worship of deities. The fragrant dance of incense becomes a harmonious offering, infusing the sacred space with aromatic devotion. Agarbatti, the aromatic elegance of Indian incense. Agarbatti, or Indian incense sticks, are central to Hindu religious practices. The ritual of agarbatti involves lighting the incense sticks, allowing the fragrant plumes to envelop the deity's idol or image. The choice of incense blends, often infused with floral and woody notes, varies according to the deity being worshipped. The rhythmic waving of the agarbatti in circular motions is not merely a ritualistic act but a symbolic dance. Devotees believe that the swirling smoke represents the celestial dance of Lord Shiva, the Nataraja, and the aromatic offering becomes a gesture of participation in this cosmic ballet. Aromas in temples, a multisensory journey. Temples in Hinduism are sensory realms where sight, sound, and fragrance converge in a symphony of devotion. The use of incense becomes a multisensory journey, enhancing the spiritual experience for worshippers. In South Indian temples, the practice of Agama Shastra, an ancient scripture that guides temple rituals, prescribes specific incense blends for different ceremonies. The fragrance becomes an integral part of the temple's sacred architecture, creating an olfactory landscape that resonates with the divine. Sufi mysticism, whirling into ecstasy with incense. In the mystical traditions of Sufism, incense is intertwined with the practice of dhikr, a form of rhythmic remembrance of the divine. Sufi mystics, known as whirling dervishes, engage in a trance-like dance as part of their spiritual journey, and incense plays a role in heightening the ecstatic experience. Incense and ecstasy in Sufi ceremonies. In Sufi ceremonies, incense burners swing in arcs, releasing fragrant clouds that envelop the whirling dervishes. The intoxicating scent becomes a companion in the seeker's journey toward spiritual ecstasy. The repetitive movements, accompanied by the rhythmic scent of incense, create an immersive experience that transcends the boundaries of the material world. The choice of incense in Sufi rituals often includes mystical blends that evoke a sense of otherworldliness. Oud, with its deep and resinous aroma, is favored for its association with transcendence. The fragrance becomes a metaphor for the seeker's journey, a bridge between the mundane and the mystical. In the realms of meditation practices and temple rituals, incense emerges as a fragrant tapestry that weaves together the earthly and the spiritual. Whether in the contemplative silence of Buddhist meditation, the cosmic harmonies of Taoist. Scented serenity, aromatic trails of Zen gardens and tea ceremonies. In the tranquil landscapes of Zen gardens and the meditative ambience of tea ceremonies, scent embarks on a subtle yet profound journey, contributing to the pursuit of enlightenment. The aromatic trails that weave through these sacred spaces are not merely fragrant nuances but integral elements in the intricate tapestry of spiritual practices. From the raked patterns in Zen gardens to the wafting tendrils of incense in tea ceremonies, scent becomes a silent guide, leading participants on a sensory journey towards serenity, mindfulness, and the elusive state of enlightenment. Zen gardens, a symphony of earthly fragrances. Zen gardens, or karasansui, are a manifestation of simplicity, balance, and contemplation. These meticulously designed landscapes, often found in Buddhist temples, utilize natural elements to create a harmonious environment for meditation and reflection. In the quietude of Zen gardens, scent becomes a silent companion, grounding practitioners in the present moment and fostering a connection with the natural world. Moss, stone, and the fragrance of earth. The choice of materials in Zen gardens is deliberate, and each element contributes to the overall sensory experience. Moss-covered stones, meticulously arranged in patterns, release a subtle fragrance that emanates from the earth. The scent of moss, often described as earthy and refreshing, becomes a grounding force, inviting practitioners to connect with the elemental beauty of nature. As one walks along the carefully raked gravel paths, the fragrance of the earth rises with each step, creating a sensory rhythm that mirrors the rhythmic patterns of the garden. The simplicity of the scents, moss, stone, and soil encourages a profound sense of presence, a mindfulness that aligns with the Zen philosophy of being fully immersed in the current moment. Incense in Zen meditation, a fragrant pillar of mindfulness. In Zen meditation practices, incense holds a sacred place. The delicate tendrils of fragrant smoke, often emanating from traditional incense burners, become a focal point for concentration. The act of lighting incense is a ritualistic gesture, a reminder of impermanence as the fragrant tendrils dissipate into the air. The art of Kodo, incense appreciation in Zen. Kodo, the way of incense, is an art form practiced in Zen traditions, elevating the appreciation of incense to a refined and meditative experience. Practitioners engage in the mindful appreciation of incense, focusing on its subtle nuances and the emotions it evokes. The ceremony involves the act of listening, as the fragrant trails intertwine with the ambient sounds of nature, creating a sensory symphony that transcends the material world. In Zen monasteries, incense ceremonies are not mere rituals but an exploration of heightened awareness. The fragrances chosen for these ceremonies often include elements like sandalwood, aloeswood, and floral notes, creating a sensory palette that resonates with the simplicity and elegance of Zen aesthetics. Tea ceremonies, a dance of aromas and elegance. The Japanese tea ceremony, known as chanoyu or chado, is a cultural practice rooted in Zen philosophy. Beyond the meticulous preparation and presentation of matcha tea, the ceremony unfolds as a sensory journey where fragrance, aesthetics, and mindfulness converge. Incense in the Japanese tea ceremony, kodu. In the context of the tea ceremony, the appreciation of incense is elevated to the art of kodu, the way of incense. The host carefully selects specific incense blends to complement the theme of the tea gathering. The incense is presented in a censer, and guests engage in the artful practice of inhaling the fragrant trails. Kodu becomes a contemplative experience, where the act of appreciating incense is not separate from the meditative ambience of the tea ceremony but an integral part of it. The fragrances, often inspired by nature, contribute to the overall aesthetic harmony, creating an immersive environment where participants are invited to savor each moment with heightened awareness. Chaji, a feast for the senses. The Japanese tea ceremony is a choreographed sequence of movements, from the precise preparation of matcha to the graceful serving of sweets. In chaji, the formal, full-length tea gathering, every detail is orchestrated to create a feast for the senses. Fragrance plays a pivotal role in this sensory symphony. The tea room itself is adorned with seasonal flowers, and the subtle fragrance of freshly picked blossoms mingles with the aroma of incense. The utensils, the wooden tea caddy, and the woven tea whisk contribute their own scents, creating an olfactory landscape that enhances the overall experience. Matcha and wagashi, aromatic harmony. The matcha itself, a powdered green tea, has its own unique fragrance. The scent of freshly whisked matcha is a delicate combination of umami, sweetness, and the vegetal notes of the green tea leaves. As participants sip the matcha, the aroma lingers, enhancing the flavor and creating a seamless transition between taste and scent. Wagashi, traditional Japanese sweets served during the tea ceremony, further contribute to the aromatic harmony. These confections, often made with ingredients like red bean paste, cherry blossoms, or yuzu citrus, infuse the air with their subtle fragrances, complementing the flavors of the matcha and creating a multisensory experience. Scented utensils and utensil care, rituals of reverence. Even the care of tea utensils, from the gentle rinsing of the tea bowl to the cleansing of the bamboo tea whisk, involves a ritualistic engagement with scent. The fragrance of the incense, the tea, and the utensils all become part of a sensory choreography that reflects the principles of harmony, respect, purity, and tranquility inherent in the way of tea. In the scented realms of Zen gardens and tea ceremonies, fragrance becomes a silent guide along the path to enlightenment. The delicate aromas of earth, moss, incense, matcha. Chapter 5: Modern Aromatics. Modern Asian perfumery, a fragrant tapestry in the global era. In the tapestry of fragrance, the modern era witnesses the evolution of Asian perfumery as it navigates the currents of globalization, industrialization, and cultural shifts. What once existed as a rich olfactory heritage deeply rooted in ancient traditions has metamorphosed into a dynamic and diverse landscape, reflecting the intersection of tradition and innovation. From the bustling metropolises of Tokyo and Seoul to the serene landscapes of Bali and the Himalayas, modern Asian perfumery tells a story of adaptation, creativity, and a relentless pursuit of identity in the face of a rapidly changing world. Globalization, a cross-cultural olfactory exchange. As borders blur and the world becomes increasingly interconnected, Asian perfumery embraces a global stage. The once insular art of crafting scents now engages in a cross-cultural dialogue, exchanging ideas, ingredients, and techniques with perfumers from diverse traditions. In the heart of Tokyo, a city pulsating with modernity, Japanese perfumers fuse traditional ingredients like yuzu and cherry blossoms with Western influences, creating fragrances that resonate with a global audience. The delicate balance of familiarity and exoticism in these scents reflects the harmonious coexistence of heritage and contemporary influences. In South Korea, a rising star in the world of beauty and fragrance, the scent industry thrives on innovation. Korean perfumers draw inspiration from the country's rich natural resources, such as ginseng and green tea, while incorporating cutting-edge synthetic molecules to create avant-garde fragrances that challenge conventional notions of scent. Industrialization, from nature to laboratory. The advent of industrialization has revolutionized the way perfumery operates in Asia. Traditional methods of extracting essences from natural materials are now complemented by sophisticated techniques in modern laboratories. The fusion of ancient wisdom and scientific advancements has given rise to a new generation of Asian perfumers who navigate the delicate balance between nature and technology. In India, where traditional attars have been crafted for centuries, perfumers now harness the power of advanced distillation and extraction methods. Sandalwood and jasmine, staples of Indian perfumery, meet the precision of molecular distillation, resulting in scents that retain the essence of tradition while embracing the efficiency of modern production. In China, a country steeped in a rich aromatic history, the perfumery industry has witnessed a resurgence. The synthesis of fragrances in state-of-the-art laboratories complements the traditional use of incense and medicinal aromatics. The juxtaposition of ancient herbal wisdom and cutting-edge perfumery techniques gives rise to scents that embody the duality of old and new China. Cultural shifts, redefining identity through scent. The evolving cultural landscape in Asia has prompted a redefinition of identity, and perfumery becomes a medium through which individuals and societies express themselves. From the revival of indigenous ingredients to the exploration of contemporary narratives, modern Asian perfumery mirrors the shifts in cultural consciousness. In Bali, where spirituality and nature intertwine, local perfumers harness the essence of frangipani and Balinese herbs to create scents that encapsulate the island's soul. Simultaneously, they experiment with novel combinations, reflecting the emergence of a contemporary Balinese identity that is deeply rooted in tradition yet open to global influences. In the Himalayas, a region known for its mystical landscapes, perfumers draw inspiration from the diverse flora that thrives in the mountainous terrain. Tibetan incense, once confined to monastic rituals, finds a place in modern fragrances, symbolizing a cultural shift that celebrates spirituality in everyday life. Sustainable perfumery, nurturing nature and tradition. As environmental concerns take center stage, modern Asian perfumery embraces sustainability, acknowledging the intrinsic connection between fragrance and nature. Perfumers increasingly turn to ethical sourcing, eco-friendly practices, and the revival of traditional craftsmanship to ensure the longevity of both their art and the environment. In Japan, where the concept of kodawari emphasizes attention to detail and craftsmanship, perfumers incorporate sustainable practices into their art. The use of locally sourced materials, such as hinoki wood and shiso leaf, not only celebrates Japanese identity but also contributes to the preservation of the country's natural resources. In Southeast Asia, where the lush landscapes are a treasure trove of aromatic wonders, perfumers champion the cause of biodiversity. The cultivation of sustainable oud, a prized ingredient in traditional perfumery, ensures that the fragrant legacy of the region persists without compromising the delicate balance of ecosystems. The rise of niche perfumery, crafting unique narratives. In the wake of globalization, there is a resurgence of niche perfumery in Asia. Independent perfumers, unburdened by mass-market expectations, delve into the realm of storytelling through scent, crafting unique narratives that resonate with individuality and cultural specificity. In Singapore, a melting pot of diverse influences, niche perfumers delve into the city-state's rich history and multiculturalism. Fragrances that capture the essence of Singapore's hawker centers, historic districts, and botanical gardens emerge as olfactory expressions of the city's dynamic identity. In the Philippines, a country with a deep connection to nature and traditional healing practices, niche perfumers explore the therapeutic aspects of scents. Fragrances infused with local ingredients like sampaguita and calamansi not only pay homage to Filipino heritage but also contribute to the growing global trend of wellness-focused perfumery. Technological advancements, virtual scents and AI creations. As technology evolves, the boundaries of perfumery are pushed further. The integration of virtual reality and artificial intelligence into scent creation opens new frontiers, allowing perfumers to experiment with previously unimaginable possibilities. In South Korea, a hub for technological innovation, perfumers collaborate with AI systems to analyze consumer preferences and create personalized fragrances. This intersection of data science and olfactory artistry reflects the modern pursuit of individualized sensory experiences. In India, a country with a burgeoning tech industry, virtual reality is employed to enhance the retail experience of buying perfumes. Customers can virtually explore the landscapes from which fragrance ingredients are sourced, offering an immersive journey that goes beyond the physical confines of a perfume boutique. As modern Asian perfumery continues its odyssey through the currents of globalization, industrialization, and cultural shifts. Resurgence of tradition, contemporary perfumery embraces its roots. In the dynamic world of contemporary perfumery, there is a palpable resurgence of traditional fragrance practices. Perfumers, inspired by the rich tapestry of ancient traditions, are revisiting age-old techniques and ingredients, breathing new life into the heritage of scent. This revival not only pays homage to the roots of perfumery but also presents an opportunity to explore and celebrate the diverse cultural landscapes of Asia. Let's embark on a fragrant journey, meeting contemporary perfumers who skillfully weave the threads of tradition into the olfactory canvases of today. Oud Renaissance, rediscovering the elixir of the East. The mysterious and captivating oud, often referred to as liquid gold, has experienced a remarkable resurgence in contemporary perfumery. Originating from the agarwood tree, oud has been a prized ingredient in traditional Middle Eastern and Asian perfumery for centuries. However, its recent popularity in global fragrance trends marks a return to the roots of ancient aromatic practices. Modern perfumers are exploring the complexities of oud, infusing their creations with its rich and resinous essence. In the bustling markets of the Middle East and Southeast Asia, where oud has been an integral part of cultural and religious traditions, perfumers draw inspiration from the past to craft contemporary scents. Oud, with its deep and complex aroma, becomes a bridge between history and modernity, inviting wearers to experience the timeless allure of this storied ingredient. Indian attars, fragrant elixirs from ancient wisdom. In the heart of India, the tradition of crafting attars has endured for centuries. Attars are aromatic oils derived from natural ingredients, often floral and herbal, using traditional distillation methods. The fragrant elixirs have been an integral part of Indian perfumery and Ayurvedic practices, revered for their therapeutic properties and intricate scent profiles. Contemporary Indian perfumers, influenced by the craftsmanship of generations past, are revitalizing the art of attar making. In the narrow lanes of Kannauj, known as the perfume city of India, skilled artisans distill essences of rose, jasmine, and sandalwood to create attars that capture the essence of India's diverse landscapes. These fragrances, deeply rooted in tradition, find a place in the global market, where discerning consumers seek authentic olfactory experiences. Balinese aromatics, essence of the island of gods. Bali, the island of gods, is not only known for its stunning landscapes but also for its rich aromatic traditions. Balinese perfumers, deeply connected to nature and spirituality, draw inspiration from the island's vibrant flora to create scents that embody the essence of Balinese culture. Balinese frangipani, known locally as Jepan, holds a special place in traditional ceremonies and daily life. Contemporary perfumers, rooted in the island's traditions, skillfully extract the fragrance of frangipani to weave it into modern compositions. These scents, resonating with the spiritual energy of Bali, serve as a testament to the enduring allure of ancient aromatics in a rapidly changing world. Japanese kodo, orchestrating incense as art. In the serene temples of Japan, the practice of kodo, the way of incense, has been an art form for centuries. Kodo involves the mindful appreciation of incense, where participants engage in a sensory journey, exploring the nuances of fragrances and their connection to nature. Contemporary Japanese perfumers, inspired by the meditative elegance of kodo, incorporate traditional incense elements into their creations. The delicate balance of woods, resins, and spices, reminiscent of the incense ceremonies in Japanese temples, finds expression in modern perfumes. These scents, echoing the profound simplicity of Japanese aesthetics, showcase the enduring influence of ancient rituals on contemporary olfactory art. Chinese aromatic blends, from tradition to avant-garde. China, with its rich history of aromatic practices, is witnessing a revival of traditional blends infused with a touch of avant-garde creativity. Inspired by the ancient art of blending herbs, flowers, and spices for medicinal and aromatic purposes, modern Chinese perfumers are crafting unique scents that reflect the country's diverse cultural heritage. The concept of xiong in Chinese culture, encompassing both fragrance and flavor, serves as a guiding principle for contemporary perfumers. Drawing from regional ingredients like osmanthus, chrysanthemum, and tea, these perfumers create harmonious compositions that pay homage to China's aromatic legacy. The scents, rooted in tradition, offer a modern interpretation that resonates with the evolving tastes of a global audience. Innovative scents inspired by Asian landscapes. Beyond the revival of traditional practices, contemporary perfumers in Asia are also exploring innovative scents inspired by the diverse landscapes of the continent. From the bustling urban environments to the serene natural vistas, these fragrances capture the spirit of modern Asia while pushing the boundaries of olfactory art. Urban metropolises, the pulse of modernity. In the fast-paced cities of Asia, where innovation and tradition coexist, perfumers find inspiration in the urban landscapes. The scent of concrete, metal, and neon lights converges with traditional elements, creating compositions that encapsulate the vibrant energy of city life. These fragrances, often characterized by crisp and modern accords, serve as olfactory snapshots of the contemporary Asian experience. Tea plantations, tranquil elegance of nature. The tea plantations that adorn the hills of Asia, from Darjeeling in India to Uji in Japan, inspire perfumers to explore the tranquil elegance of nature. Scents that evoke the earthy notes of tea leaves, the floral nuances of blossoms, and the subtle sweetness of freshly brewed tea emerge as tributes to the serene landscapes where tradition and natural beauty converge.